Hello, my friend. Today, I invite you to listen and read along. Don't just listen. Read every word, repeat them, and feel the rhythm of the story. Step by step, you will train your English skills through this emotional journey. Let the story guide you. Read, listen, think, then repeat. Are you ready? Let's begin. The story opens in a quiet corner of the countryside. There, a little puppy was just born and given the name Leora. Leora's father was a massive saint, Bernard, strong and majestic like a fortress. Her mother was a collie, clever and gentle, yet in Leora's eyes, she was greater than anyone in the world. Her mother loved long words. She listened carefully to the humans in the dining room or the living room, learned every difficult word, and repeated them until they were hers. When she met other dogs, she would speak with a steady voice. Unintellectual means unwilling to use one's mind. Everyone was amazed. Some even rewarded her with a crisp biscuit. As a pup, Leora did not understand it all, but she loved the way her mother made people believe in her. She told herself, "Mother is the smartest dog in the world, day after day." Her mother taught Leora something far more important than words. When danger comes, don't think of yourself. Think of others. Do what is right, even if it is hard. That is the only life worth living. Leora listened, but her young heart could not yet grasp the depth. Then came the fateful day. People took Leora away, selling her to another family. Her mother stood at the gate, eyes glistening. She gently licked her daughter's face and whispered, "Remember this, my child. Live for love and truth. If you choose, you can turn sorrow into strength." That was the beginning of a new journey. The new home belonged to the Whitford family. Spacious, bright, with a wide green lawn and tall shade trees. There, Leora was still called by the name her mother had given her. In the family was a 10-year-old girl named Amelia Whitford. Her hair was blazing red like fire, her smile radiant, every day. Amelia ran around with Leora, hugged her tight, tugged her ears, and played endlessly. But Leora never grew angry. To her, that little girl was the entire world. There was also a small child, just 1 year old, chubby, with round eyes, often lies in a spotless white crib. Leora would rest beside it, watching the baby sleep, and feel a strange peace. The father, Edward Whitford, was a stern scientist. He used long, complicated words that instantly reminded Leora of her mother. The mother, Helena Whitford, was gentle, often allowing Leora to stay in the room, even resting her feet on Leora's back as if she were a soft cushion. For Leora, happiness was simply being near them. The servants, too, gave her affection. They often slipped her a bone, a slice of bread, or a sweet apple. Her new life flowed quietly, filled with warmth and love. In time, Leora became a mother. A tiny puppy appeared, like a gift from the heavens. She looked at her child, her heart swelling with pride. In her mind echoed a promise, "I will teach you all the goodness my mother taught me." But fate was not so kind. One winter night, as snow blanketed the windows, the nursery was lit by the crackling of the fireplace. The baby lay quietly in the crib, while Leora curled up fast asleep. Suddenly, a spark leapt out, catching on the blanket. Flames rose, blazing red, racing like a furious serpent. Smoke thickened, heat pressed in. Leora woke with a jolt. "I don't understand. Why is this happening? I feel so worried. What if no one comes? I wish Mother were here to show me what to do." In that moment of panic, she heard her mother's voice echoing, "When danger comes, think of others." Without hesitation, she lunged toward the crib. Fire licked her fur, searing hot, but Leora grabbed the baby's clothes in her teeth and pulled. Smoke stung her eyes. Heat pressed down. But she did not let go. With all her strength, she dragged the baby through the flames, out into the safe hallway. She barked loudly, circling, hoping someone would understand. But when Edward arrived, he saw only fire, smoke, and a dog barking wildly. Furious, he shouted, "Get out, you worthless beast!" The stick came down. Leora yelped in pain, limped, her heart breaking. "I don't understand. What did I do wrong? I feel so sad. I wish they knew the truth." She ran, hiding in a dark corner of the attic. There, trembling, her wounds bleeding, her heart heavy. She lay while the fire still raged outside. In her despair, she whispered her mother's words. "Don't think of yourself. Think of others." In the cold attic, Leora lay still, her breath weak. The wound on her leg throbbed with pain. Her stomach growled with hunger, yet the greatest ache was in her heart. "I don't understand. Why do they despise me? I feel so anxious. Do I still belong in this house? I wish someone could see the truth." The days dragged on slowly. At night, Leora heard Amelia's voice crying out below. "Leora, come back. We miss you." Each call pierced his heart like a needle. He longed to run out and embrace Amelia, but his legs were too heavy. Fear still bound him tightly. One afternoon, Amelia and the maid brought a lantern up to the attic. When the light reached the dark corner, they saw Leora's sorrowful eyes. "There he is!" Amelia shouted, then rushed forward to embrace him. Leora trembled, gently licking the little girl's cheek. In that moment, his heart warmed again. The maid sighed. "Poor dog. The master has misunderstood him." From that day, Leora began to learn a new lesson. The truth would eventually come to light, but patience was needed. Once everyone understood, they cared for him tenderly. Edward, once stern, now bowed his head in apology. "You saved my child. I was wrong." He placed a tray of fine meat before Leora, his eyes filled with remorse. Leora could not grasp every word, but he felt the trembling tone. Relief washed over him. A new cycle had begun: fear, explanation, joy. But the trials were not over. In the household, there was another dog named Bruno, large and strong, once considered a source of pride. Bruno glared at Leora with contempt. "You're just the one who was cast aside. Don't think you're a hero." Leora's heart ached. He thought, "I don't understand. Why do they despise me? I feel so sad. I wish I were stronger." Yet Amelia ran over, hugged Leora tightly, and said, "You are my best friend. Don't be sad." Leora. Her words were like light. He learned another lesson: not everyone has to believe in you. Just one heart that understands is enough. Day by day, small trials continued to come. Once, the baby in the crib cried bitterly. Before the maid could rush in, Leora gently used his snout to pull the blanket over the child to shield him from the cold wind. When Lady Helena saw it, she exclaimed with emotion, "Oh, this dog is truly clever and gentle." Hearing that gentle voice, Leora felt happiness spread within him. Another time, Amelia dropped her shoe into the lotus pond. The little girl wept. What should I do now? Bruno just stood and watched, unwilling to help. But Leora leapt in, dove beneath the water, and retrieved the shoe. The cold water splashed against his face, yet he did not give up. When the shoe was returned, Amelia beamed with joy. "You really are my little hero." In that happiness, Leora realized something more. Courage did not come from strength, but from love. Yet darkness also appeared. One day, Edward's colleagues from the laboratory came to visit. They noticed Leora's small puppy. A man with glasses said, "We need it for an experiment. It will benefit science." They carried the puppy away. Leora barked furiously, running after them, but was restrained. He panicked. "I don't understand. Why are they taking my child away? I feel so terrified. I wish I could protect it." In the laboratory, the sounds of metal, glass, and wires filled the air. The little puppy wailed. Leora forced his way in, licking its face, but he was powerless. Amelia cried too. "Give it back. Don't hurt it." But the scientists only shook their heads. This is for knowledge. In the end, the little puppy did not survive. Leora fell silent, his heart shattered. He learned a bitter lesson sometimes. Sacrifice does not bring good immediately. Amelia sat beside him, comforting. "Don't cry, Leora. You're still the best mother." He looked at the little girl, his eyes blurred with tears, and felt a bit of solace. No matter what, love still remained. From then on, Leora grew weaker. Yet each day, he still tried to do something small to prove he could bring joy. When Amelia was sad, he lay his head on her lap. When the baby cried, he nudged the child's hand with his nose. When Bruno showed arrogance, Leora remained silent, never quarreling. Each cycle, each small act, brought a new ray of light into the darkness. I feel relieved when Amelia smiles. I am surprised when they begin to trust me. I am happy knowing I can still be of use. The whole family gradually realized that this little dog was not merely a pet. Leora was the warm heart of the home. Time passed, and the cold winter gradually gave way to the vibrant spring. In the wide garden, the first flowers blossomed, carrying with them a sweet fragrance. But for Leora, strength was slipping away. Ever since the death of the little puppy, his heart had been in constant pain. He still tried to get up each day, quietly carrying out small tasks. When Amelia studied, Leora lay beside her, his eyes sparkling with encouragement. When the little boy took his first shaky steps, Leora stood patiently nearby, like a soft pillow if the child were to fall. The whole family slowly realized just how important Leora's presence was. It wasn't Bruno, the strong hunting dog, but Leora who was the true source of warmth. One evening, the family hosted a gathering of friends. Guests filled the house, lights glimmered, and laughter rang out. At that moment, the baby suddenly slipped out of the nanny's arms. No one noticed. Only Leora did. The baby crawled straight toward the high stone steps, where a single misstep could mean disaster. Leora leapt up. Though his legs still hurt, he ran as fast as he could. In that fleeting instant, he poured all his strength into lunging forward, blocking the baby just before the fall. A scream rang out, and everyone rushed over. They saw the scene the small dog, trembling, keeping the child safe. No one could deny it anymore. This was not a coincidence, nor luck. It was living proof that Leora was a savior, a silent guardian. Amelia hugged him tightly, her voice breaking. He saved the baby. Once again, the guests whispered, then broke into applause. Mr. Edward, usually stern, spoke with a choked voice before everyone. From this day on, Leora is not just a dog in this house. He is truly a member of the Whitford family. From that moment, Leora's story spread across the town. People called him the little hero. Children came to visit, to pet him, to hear tales of his bravery. Adults admired him, nodding in respect. It is so rare to find a heart that thinks of others like this. Leora listened, his eyes shining. He didn't understand all the praise, but he felt the love, yet his body grew weaker. At night, Leora lay on his familiar rug, breathing heavily. Amelia sat beside him, whispering, "Don't leave me, Leora. Stay with me forever." He gently licked her hand, his eyes tender. In that moment, the image of his mother appeared, along with her words from long ago. When danger comes, don't think of yourself. Think of others. Live for love and for truth. Leora understood. His journey was complete. He had lived exactly as his mother had taught him. On his final sunset, the golden light poured over the garden. The leaves swayed, and the breeze brushed softly like a kind hand. Leora closed his eyes, let out a long breath, and grew still. The whole family gathered around, tears falling. "Mr. Edward spoke firmly, his voice steady. "When you wish to live a meaningful life, learn from Leora. Do not think of yourself first, but think of others." Amelia sobbed, yet managed a smile through her tears. "You will always stay in our hearts." The servants carried Leora to the garden and buried him beside the little puppy under the shade of a tree. In summer, that place would bloom with flowers, buzzing with bees and butterflies, a corner of eternity filled with love. Leora's story ended, but it left behind a reminder for everyone. When you face hardship, think of others. When you feel fear, remember that love can transform it. When you feel powerless, repeat the motif of life. Listen, reflect, act, and love. The story closes, but your journey of learning does not end here. Every word you have just read, every rhythm you have just heard, is a step forward in training both your English and your heart. When you wish to be stronger, remember Leora. When you wish to live with greater meaning, do what he did, live for love and for truth.